Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to be covering Jarvan IV or Jarvan IV. In this video, you're going to be getting everything that you need to know to be playing him properly. His abilities, combos, runes, spells, his builds, and situational items, and basically everything to take your Jarvan IV to the next level. In this video, I'm going to be giving tips and tricks throughout the entire guide. However, I will not be giving a specific tips and tricks section in this guide because after this, I'm going to be doing a challenger gameplay analysis from one of the top 100 challengers in the EU server, and he also peaked around top 15 or top 13 in the entire server. So I'm really honored to go over his gameplay, but that's going to be in the next video. So subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that, and please go watch it, as in that video I'm going to be doing tips and tricks for playing Jarvan, as well as a Q&A section with the man himself, so you absolutely do not want to be missing out on that. Also, my 300 subscriber giveaway has already come out. If you want to go see that, there's a link in the description below. And with that, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so first we're going to be going over his skill order. So the skill order that you want to be getting Jarvan's skill in is, first you want to level up his third skill one time for the attack speed boost and the passive attack speed boost. This will especially help you if you're getting a leash, especially from your dragon lane, but it also helps out with your baron lane, because the attack speed boost will also help nearby allies, so you will be able to take your first buff really quickly. After that, you want to be leveling up your first skill. This will give you some damage to clear the second jungle cap. And lastly, you want to be leveling up your second skill. First, you want to max out your first skill because it'll be your main source of damage and knockup, as well as once you have it high enough, then you can use it actually twice before your flag runs out. So that's important to know. After that, you want to be leveling up your flag second, as it provides a lot of utility as well as an engage and escape tool. Lastly, you want to be leveling up your second skill, which is the shield as well as the slow. So that's the skill order for Jarvan IV. So J4's first skill is just his lance, and this will deal damage in a straight area. And if enemies get hit by this, it will reduce their armor, which scales with the amount of levels that the skill has. Also, this skill will deal knockup and pull yourself towards a flag if you use it towards a flag. If your cooldown is low enough, you can actually use this skill twice on the same flag. So this skill is great for utility as well as knocking enemies up. So next up we have his second skill, which basically puts a slow as well as a shield for J4. So the slow increases and scales with every time you level the skill up, and the shield will increase depending on how many enemy champions are nearby you. So you'll have a larger shield if you are around more enemy champions, and obviously less of a shield if you're around less enemy champions. J4's third skill puts a flag down, and if an enemy gets hit by this flag, they'll take some magic damage, as well as if you use this flag, you can recast the ability to knock enemies up. When you level up this flag, you will gain a passive attack speed going all the way up to 30 passive attack speed. And when nearby allies are around this flag, then they'll also gain attack speed, which is why you level this skill up, so that leashes are more effective, especially in the dragon lane. So this is just a great overall skill for utility, knockup, and as well as boosting the attack speed of yourself and allies. Alright, so lastly we have J4's ultimate, which will jump onto an enemy champion and trap them. It will also deal physical damage when you jump onto them and create a barrier around them. You can recast this ability after a short moment to put down the barrier, which you can use if the enemy is already dead and you want to chase the other enemies, or if you like trap your ADC or something like that inside, then you can recast this to break the wall. Alright, so now we're going to be going into J4's combos. So the first combo that you're going to learn is his basic gank setup, where he'll be using this when his opponent doesn't have flash or an escape tool, and it's just an easy knockup and slow with J4, as well as attack speed boost from his third skill. So it's really easy to execute. First, you want to be using his third skill and then dashing towards it for the knockup, and then while you're dashing towards it, you want to be having your auto attack and animation canceling to it. So That way, as soon as you get to them, you will auto attack. After that, you want to be using your second skill to slow them, as well as give yourself a shield. This is his basic gank setup with his knockup as well as his slow, and slipping in an auto attack there for extra damage. Alright, so J4's combo that he wants to use when he's trying to escape from an enemy target, or he's just trying to disengage during a team fight, is first using his second skill for a shield as well as that slow, and then ulting a target behind you as well as flashing out. Alright, so Jarvan's combo that he wants to be using when he has ultimate and basically his all-in combo, and the one that he wants to be using in team fights when he's at max health, is first using his third skill and first skill to dash and knock up targets. After that, you want to be using your ult to trap all of them, and finally you want to be using your second skill to get that extra shield as well as slow enemy targets. Alright, so J4's combo that he wants to be using when he's lower in HP is first using his third skill and first skill for a clean knockup, and then after that using his second skill and ult to slow enemies and get a shield, and after that just flashing out. So this will CC your opponents as well as deal knockup and also burst them down, and it is basically his combo that he wants to do when he's lower in health. However, he still wants to contribute by using CCs and have his team follow up properly after he does this combo. Alright, so the combo that you want to be using when you are turret diving or when you're ganking and you don't know whether the enemy has flash is first you want to be ulting them, and then if they do flash out, then you want to be using your third skill and first skill to gap close onto them and as well as knock them up, and then you want to be using your second skill for the shield as well as slowing them, and then follow up with auto attacks to kill them. So at full speed it'll look something like this. Alright, so the next one that we're going to be learning is basically a knockup extension. So after you use your third skill and your first skill, you can actually flash before the dash ends onto an enemy target, and that will actually knock them up. Alright, so Jarvan IV's combo that he wants to be using during a steal, for example, if he's trying to steal Dragon or Baron and it's pretty low and he has Smite up, is first he wants to be using his third skill as well as his first skill to get in onto the Dragon. Then he wants to Smite it to steal the Dragon or Baron. After that, he wants to use his ult on the person who's guarding the pit. So basically, that's how the combo will look like, and then you can flash out of your ult to get a very clean steal and just get out of there safely. And so the first item that you want to be buying actually is Sheen first for your first back. So when you get your first item, you want it to be Sheen for the extra attack speed. And then after that, upgrade it fully into a Trinity Force. The second item that you want to be getting is a boot item. So he recommends getting either Ninja Tabbies or Mercury Treads. Ninja Tabbies obviously against AD team comps for that extra armor, and Mercury Treads for team comps that have more magic damage and also crowd control. So those are the two boot items you can be going for. On top of it, you can be getting a number of different enchants. The first one that's good is the Locket enchant. So this is when you want to have a team shield when there's more AoE abilities, or when you think that your carries aren't going to make it without a shield. The other enchant that you can buy with him is the Stone Plate enchant, which will basically give him a lot more sustain and tankiness. So if you don't already have a tank on your team, for example, if you have an enchanter support or something like that, and you want to be the main engage and tankiness on your team, then you want to be taking this item. So the next item that you want to be getting is Guardian Angel, and the reason that you want to be getting Guardian Angel is because it provides you with both attack damage and armor, as well as a great passive for staying in fights. So the next item after that is Death's Dance. This will give him max health, attack speed, and ability haste. And for his last two items, you want to be getting situational items. He recommends going Spirit Visage and Dead Man's Plate, but you want to be changing these every game depending on the enemy team comp. For example, if an enemy ADC is fed, or someone that's a crit AD carry like Yasuo is fed, then you want to be going for an item like Randuin's Omen, for example, or Sterak's Gauge if you need to be more tanky and there's a mix between AD and AP and you want that extra shield. So be getting situational items for your last two items. Of course, Spirit Visage is great with healing, and Dead Man's Plate is great against AD. However, you want to be changing these up depending on your situation. Alright, so for Jarvan IV's rune setup, you want to be going Conqueror as your keystone rune. This will help you gain stacks whenever you hit a champion with abilities or attacks, and this will just be able to help you stack your damage when you need it. So the next rune that you want to be getting is Brutal, as this will give you AD straight from the get-go, and this will help you snowball the game because J4 is an early game champ. You want to be capitalizing on early leads, and this will just give you a bit of a boost and a head start in the game. So it'll give you both AD and armor pen. So for his third rune, you want to be taking Hunter Titan. This will give you max health as well as tenacity for every kill that you get. This will again help him snowball the game in his favor, and the max health that you get from this rune will give you more sustain, and the tenacity will give you more resist to CC like slows, like roots, like stuns, or any of that sort of thing. For his last rune, you want to be going Mastermind for the 10 extra bonus true damage to monsters and turrets. This will help you take more objectives and have that kind of objective control that you want to be having when you're trying to dominate games. So this will also give you an extra 100 gold and 500 XP. So this really helps him snowball, especially in the early game, so that you can just absolutely dominate your games. For his spells, there's really only one combination that you can realistically go for, and that's Smite and Flash. Smite you want to be going obviously because you're a jungler, and Flash for the versatility. It helps you engage, escape, and do all those kind of sort of things. The only other combination that's kind of viable is Smite and Ignite, and this is only viable when there's like 5 healers on the enemy team. For example, if they have Fiora and Soraka and just a bunch of champions that rely on healing, then the only other combination that you can really go for is Smite and Ignite. However, for 99% of your games, I would recommend going Smite and Flash. Alright, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did make it this far, leave a comment saying that you did, and I will give you a shout out in my next video if you do make it this far. And by the way, the next video, again, I already said, but it's going to be a challenger gameplay analysis from one of the top players in the EU server, playing Jarvan IV. And I'm really excited to do that. There will also be a Q&A session with him at the end of that video where I will be going over tips and tricks, and he'll be giving you sound advice for playing Jarvan, like what matchups he's good against, what matchups he's bad against, how you should play him early, mid, late, his power spikes, and all of that good juicy stuff. So actually I was going to combine the two videos into one, but I realized it would be way too long for you guys, and I just wanted it to be more of an enjoyable experience so you can watch the two separate videos at 2 different times. But tell me what you guys think about that video, and I'm sorry that I didn't upload in a while. It's just that I was trying to make it all one video, but then it turned out to be really long and the editing process took super long. Actually, last night I stayed up till 5 AM trying to edit the video and try to get it finalized. However, I just couldn't do it because the video was so long. So I hope you guys are still sticking around, and I really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. So with that, I will be seeing you soon. Bye!